in his corner, I don't think he should be fighting at 147 at all. I don't even think he should be fighting at 154.
Really?
I think he should be fighting at 160 or 168.
Wow.
It's just where I'm born at.
So is that kind of a thing with like some of the fighters that are working with Turki Alalshikh now as they go over to Riyadh and you know a lot of that is invested in the economy there. They're getting paid.
I never met him. He seemed like a pretty cool guy. I can't really speak on his situation or speak on another fighter's situation. I'm just telling you my outlook on how, it's just my outlook.
Floyd Mayweather is set to take his exhibitions to the next level after his meeting with Turki Alalshikh over a potential Terence Crawford exhibition in the Riyadh season. This comes after he expressed his desire to settle the debate boxing fans have created over who is the better fighter between him and Terence Crawford. While Crawford is the only active boxer with a boxing record close to Mayweather 50-0, Mayweather feels the need to settle the score with him in the ring.
I had a chance to hang around Terence, and both guys, class act.
Well, there has been the argument of who has the stronger resume as well, but Floyd is looking to achieve two milestones at once, make a huge purse, and settle the debate between him and Terence Crawford. The meeting between Floyd Mayweather and Turki Alalshikh has been long overdue, seeing as the pair are huge stakeholders in the sport of boxing. Floyd took it upon himself to visit Saudi in order to meet and discuss his exhibition plans with Turki Alalshikh, and topping his plans is a fight with Terence Crawford. However, there remains a hurdle he must cross, as Crawford is keen on fighting Canelo Alvarez later this year. But before we get into that, the meeting between Turki and Floyd began with innocent admiration.
Yeah. No, Crawford, we have a thought about it, but our case, we can support to have rematch.
His Excellency Turki Alalshikh has always spoken very highly of Floyd Mayweather. All the fighters want a career similar to the career of Mayweather's 0 losses. This can happen one time every 50, 60, or 70 years. He stated only last month during a discussion with Carl Froch. So the solution? With Riyadh season and UFC President Dana White teaming up, Turki's got big plans to simplify the sport and create fresh opportunities for fighters and fans alike, where the number of a loss does not determine a boxer's worth. So does Floyd Mayweather think about the new developments in the sport?
It's up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever, keep it real, bro. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of...
In a sit-down with Brian Mazik, Floyd Mayweather laid out what's currently on his radar. Along with that, he also wasn't shy about giving some real talk advice to the younger generation. During the interview, Alalshikh's name came up when Mayweather was speaking about making local investments and growing businesses within one's own country. It was then that Mazik mentioned His Excellency and the trend of fighters moving to Riyadh for a better paycheck. However, the 50-0 boxer wasn't particularly bothered about this trend. In one line, Mayweather clarified his stance. "I don't know. I've never met him. He seemed like a pretty cool guy." While Mayweather doesn't have an opinion on Alalshikh or any of the fighters fighting under the Riyadh season, he stated that he can only speak from his own perspective.
Shit, always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight. I never looked at him like...
"I can't really speak on his situation, or speak on another fighter's situation," the 47-year-old added. Mayweather emphasized that his focus is on his own investments and offering advice to the younger generation, encouraging them to think wisely about their financial futures. So what sparked this conversation about Turki Alalshikh in the first place? In the same interview with Brian Mazik, the boxing legend was also asked about his health regimen and the lessons he's learned from his storied boxing career, to which Floyd Mayweather offered an insightful response. He explained that health is the real wealth, and how his focus on fitness has led to the creation of his own supplement line and fitness gyms, which he is now expanding globally.
On life, on my investments, and giving the young generation some advice.
Yes, for sure. And obviously your story is 100% a success story. You know, if people know about areas in Grand Rapids and to see where you were, where you came from and where you are now is 100%.
Well, it wasn't just Grand Rapids. I had the chance, my mother, her family is from Jersey.
He revealed that after retiring, he was often asked about the vitamins and workouts that kept him in top shape. This led him to develop a supplement line called One of One. Why was it created in the first place? The answer is plain. People are dying very, very early, Money stated. Floyd Mayweather also spoke at length about his investments, particularly in real estate. He encouraged the younger generation to make smart investments that are accessible and offer a reasonable return. His real estate venture, Vada Properties, is just one example of how he's actively working to give back to his home country. And just my advice to the young generation, if you do invest in anything, you have to be able to reach your investment in a certain amount of time, he explained. Mayweather said that he prefers to invest in the United States. Why? Because he understands the laws and regulations of his country, as opposed to foreign markets that could be subject to changing laws.
As well as New York and Florida. So when I was a kid, I would go back and forth. A lot of times in Jersey, a lot of time in New York. Then I go back to Grand Rapids. So born and raised in Grand Rapids, but I spent a lot of time in Jersey as well as New York when I was young. Awesome.
Yeah. Got you. So you talking about career, and I think a lot of that does really tie into what you're doing now, and I'm sure there's definitely tie-ins to
this approach, he believes, allows for more secure and predictable returns. I try to invest in my country. I try not to invest in another country because the laws may change. So I know the laws where I live and where I am born, the 15x world champion asserted. He and Turki share one thing in common. Both are smart investors, not only in other things, but also in the sport of boxing. During this period, Terence Crawford and Turki Alalshikh were pressing to make the Canelo fight work.
Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy, he's strong, that's a conversation.
Talking about a fight against Crawford in the past, Canelo Alvarez had demanded $100 million, while he demanded $200 million for a fight against David Benavidez, which he believes is a higher risk for him considering the size difference between him and David Benavidez. A while ago, Canelo was asked to give the payout amount he'd want to fight Crawford, and he told one reporter $150 million. It's unclear if that was a serious demand or posturing. It's also unclear if that response pushed Alalshikh to abandon making a Canelo Crawford superhighway.
Yes man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Magimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones. It's about now.
Those of us who have been around the boxing world for a while know that death is a day-to-day concept, especially in fight negotiations. If both sides legitimately desire to fight, it can and will happen eventually.
And he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy.
Despite promoter interest, Canelo Alvarez has seemingly thrown cold water on the prospect of a mega fight with Terence Crawford. While having a conversation with the media, Canelo Alvarez stated the reasoning behind asking $150 million for his fight against Crawford.
Yo no estoy pidiendo esa pelea, al final de cuentas. Claro que no. La quiero para mi hijo, por favor. Sí, no, aquí yo creo que Crawford needs to fight Teofimo first, and then we'll see, right? At the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not asking for that fight. They wanna make that fight because it's a payday, obviously, but I don't want that fight. I think Teofimo deserves more than me.
He's the king at 140 right now.
Yeah.
Turki has said that he's not in.
He claimed Terence was obviously a risk, a great fighter. It's a risk, but he doesn't care. If the money's right, it can be tomorrow. Well, a $150 million fee would require a massive gate for the promoters to generate any revenue, and Turki Alalshikh knows it very well. Taking to his X handle to disregard Canelo Alvarez's demand. I heard Canelo said that he respects me but doesn't like the way we do business. As for him respecting me, it doesn't matter to me if he does or not. As for the way I do business, I know why he doesn't like it, because I only target big fights at fair prices. So of course, anyone who likes easy fights won't like that. That's not all. Alalshikh even questioned Alvarez's capability as a fighter, as he stated that Canelo was looking for easy fights. And I know how he feels after losing to Bivol, so he's been looking for easier fights ever since. Also, I'm not the one who's afraid of fighting Benavidez or Crawford. Therefore, I knew he was wasting our time and making excuses with big amounts of money that can't be paid. So I'm continuing my way to make big fights that serve the boxing world, and he's on his way to making easy, show-only fights.
Interested in the fight anymore. What's your reaction or your response to that?
Wait, take it easy. My response to Turkey is this. Yesterday, they text me. They text me and say, we can talk about the fight in February with Crawford. Yeah. They text me yesterday, and I say, look, I'm not gonna talk about any other fight. I'm focused 100% on this.
The situation was disheartening to Terence Crawford, who had seen a fight against Canelo Alvarez as the biggest fight of his career, a fight that'll guarantee him his highest payday. After Canelo has delayed talks for months, he has now agreed to get a $100 million purse.
Canelo's going back and forth with Turkey, and if that fight is off the table, are you really motivated still by becoming undisputed at 54? And yeah, like what?
There is no doubt Terence Crawford is one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world right now. After becoming a 4-weight world champion in August by beating WBA super welterweight champion Israel Madrimov, the boxing world is Crawford's oyster.
What's the biggest motivating goal or fight out there if the Canelo fight just can't happen?
To be honest, that was my motivation.
The American has been linked with a number of big names for his next fight, including unified super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez. Since making his Riyadh season debut in his fight against Madrimov, these fantasy fights are looking more plausible, but fans will have to wait a little while longer to see Crawford return to the ring. Appearing on DAZN's Ariel and Aid the Boxing Show, His Excellency Turki Alalshikh, the man behind the Riyadh season events, revealed Crawford was a possibility for the recently announced card. But instead, he will have to wait until later in 2025 to lace up the gloves. I tried and pushed to do this fight. Crawford is not ready, His Excellency Turki Alalshikh said.
My motivation, like, you know, it's crazy and it makes me laugh.
He has a small health issue, a little injury, but he prefers to fight with us in May or after May. Although there has been no official announcement, the conversations surrounding this potential super fight are growing louder. Boxing insiders suggest that if realized, this bout could be among the largest events ever staged in Las Vegas. While specifics are still emerging, speculation points towards a possible fight date in late 2025, with September 16th aligning perfectly with Canelo's tradition of fighting around Mexican Independence Day. Fans and analysts alike are eagerly awaiting confirmation, hoping for a thrilling showdown that could reshape the boxing landscape.
That Canelo is doing and saying in the media and whatnot about the size, and he won't get no credit and all this type of things, but Canelo been fighting smaller guys his whole career.
Crawford, stepping up from light middleweight, seeks to join the elite ranks with a championship in a third weight class. This clash is poised to be legendary, showcasing two of the sport's brightest stars.
He wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different.
A high-definition, realistic image of excited boxing fans in anticipation of a potential mega fight. The scene is set in a vibrant and crowded arena. Fans wearing merchandise of their favorite boxers, some holding up banners with rallying cries for the thrilling match, the electric atmosphere of anticipation, and the announcement being displayed on the main screen. Boxing insiders suggest that if realized, this bout could be among the largest events ever staged in Las Vegas.
And better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's weight classes for a reason.
While specifics are still emerging, speculation points towards a possible fight date in late 2025, with September 16th aligning perfectly with Canelo's tradition of fighting around Mexican Independence Day.
Fight. Look, I don't like the way he talk, and I'm not in this position because of any. I'm in this position if he wants to work with me, it's in my way, not in their way.
What was
I don't need it.
What didn't you like about how he approached? Like, what was
it's not the
In an interesting twist, predictions have emerged about the fight's outcome. Early analysis suggests Crawford might take the first round cautiously while evaluating Canelo's style. As the rounds progress, the fight is expected to be a strategic battle, with Crawford potentially edging out a victory by a narrow split decision.
Way to approach. It's not the way to approach to me. Look, I respect everybody and I respect Turkey, but look, if he wants to work with me, it need to be in my way.
You said you feel Crawford is easy. You felt that Crawford to you is easy money.
Regardless of the final result, both fighters are poised to leave a lasting legacy in the sport. Will Canelo's power and experience triumph over Crawford's technique? Only time will tell. However, recent discussions surrounding a potential fight against Crawford, proposed by Turki Alalshikh, have created a media frenzy. Following Canelo Alvarez's funny comment, Turki Alalshikh had once stated that he is no longer interested in pursuing the fight between Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Alalshikh has decided to shift gears, announcing his disinterest in pursuing the bout. Instead, he will focus on building Crawford's profile in the US market and promoting other top fighters like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Gervonta Davis. Alalshikh then announced on X late Monday night that, "Just wrapped up an important meeting now with my team, planning for the upcoming fights that we will make for 2024 to 2025. I decided to disregard the Canelo fight as I don't want it anymore. Instead, I will be focusing on the US market with bigger fights, especially for the legendary Crawford." He added, "I am focusing on Riyadh season card, Wembley edition 21st of September, Anthony Joshua versus Dubois, and depending on the results of Riyadh season's opening card, Bivol versus Beiderbiev on the 12th of October, I will build the card for the rematch of Fury versus Usyk on the 21st of December and another big card on the first quarter of 2025. Stay tuned." Four-division and unified super middleweight champion Alvarez said he told his occasional promoter Eddie Hearn the same thing at the first stop of his press tour in New York.
About it, look, I'm focused 100% on my fight, and I don't really care about it. They called me yesterday. They texted me yesterday if is it possible to talk about.
Eddie Hearn asked me, "Hey, we want to talk about the Crawford fight in February. Turki Alalshikh wants to meet you in person in Los Angeles," Alvarez said. I said, "Look, I don't want to talk about the fight." Few people obviously put Alalshikh on pause. His deep investment in boxing has moved many fighters to flock to Saudi Arabia or to accept purses they've never seen before to participate under his Riyadh season banner.
About the Crawford fight for February or meet to yesterday here in Los Angeles with him, and I said, "Look, I'm 100%."
The height of the Alalshikh ring kissing came Saturday night at the Los Angeles card, where Crawford edged Israil Madrimov by unanimous decision to capture the World Boxing Association 154-pound belt. Interrupting the card's flow, the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame and promoters Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya attended a ring ceremony granting Alalshikh a special induction into the hall, despite the fact he has never staged a fight in the state. Meanwhile, Alvarez was bowing to no one.
I'm focused on this fight, and I can talk about other fights. Maybe that's why he talked about that today, because I say I'm not ready to talk about other fights.
Maybe that's why they announced this, because I said, "No, I don't want to talk about the fight," Alvarez said. "I'm very focused on this fight." Alalshikh said the UFC card would eat Alvarez's show. In a stunning development that set the boxing world abuzz, a dream matchup inches closer to reality. Turki Alalshikh, the mastermind behind Riyadh season, dropped a bombshell about Canelo versus Crawford.
She said that he would be willing to pay whatever you want to fight Crawford.
I give him the offer. If he's smart, he will accept it.
That'll work. Yeah, you're in. So if the numbers were right with Crawford, you'll do it.
Why not?
The chairman of the General Entertainment Authority revealed he's made an offer to Canelo Alvarez. This potential mega fight could put two of boxing's brightest stars against each other. Alalshikh didn't mince words when discussing the proposal with Dazn. "I gave Alvarez an offer. If he's smart, he'll accept it. If they accept, we want to see this fight," said Alalshikh via Dazn. "But if he doesn't, I want Ortiz. If they accept, we want to see this fight." Floyd Mayweather doesn't seem so interested in this whole thing. Hence, he's only bent in making the most money possible in an exhibition fight against Terence Crawford.
Why not? I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, my weight if the money is right, I'm in, because you know I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great.
While Crawford is still active, this may be an impossible pursuit. But should Terence Crawford desire a retirement after his fight against Canelo Alvarez, then Mayweather may prepare himself for the huge matchup. Terence Crawford remains an all-time great, and if Floyd Mayweather's goal is to prove who's the greatest, it may be too late, or that now, seeing how old Floyd Mayweather is. In the end, we can always admit that boxing is a sport of eras, and while we can appreciate certain fighters and weigh their abilities up against others, we wouldn't always be able to clearly figure it all out because fighters are only active in their era. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.